Hi, and welcome to White Hat versus Black Hat SEO show. My name is Josh Bachynski, and we have a special Sunday secret SEO miss presentation for you that I completely forgot about, and then I made the video really quickly, and then we started. So today we have a great show for you guys. For anyone who wants to join, like I said, it's still SEO miss, and in SEO miss we like to celebrate the gift that keeps on giving, which is SEO. So if you want to join the hangout and watch, you can definitely. Oh, I see. Viewers are starting to watch now. That's good. Oh, I gotta mute myself. Sorry. So that's tradition. I never mute myself. So welcome to the show. So of course we have with us our co-host Clint. Say hi there, Clint.
Hi everybody. Welcome to the Sunday episode. Hope you brought some beer.
There we go. Good. I've got morphine, so I'm covered. My back is acting up, and people say the Canadian medical system's no good, but when they give you morphine for a back problem, I think that's pretty good or bad, depending how you look at it. And with that out of the way, we are also very lucky to have with us a veteran of the SEO field who's been works on a tool that everybody knows and uses. It's Tim Solo from Ahrefs. Say hi, Tim.
Hi, guys. I'm actually from the future because for me it's Monday morning.
Well, He's actually right. Yeah, because you're joining us from Singapore.
Yeah.
It's too bad you're not actually from the future. You could tell us who wins the big football game or something like that. We could make some money. And so this is the most important question I'm going to ask you for the whole hangout, for the whole show. The question is, how do you properly say Ahrefs? How do you pronounce it?
This is a great question, and I usually say that people who actually know how to pronounce it right usually rank in Google 10% faster than other people. So if you don't know, you will rank 10% slower. But yeah, I think that from the grammatical or should I say lexical standpoint, the right pronunciation is Ahrefs, as far as I can tell. But we here, like in the Ahrefs headquarters, we just skip the other letter and call it Ahrefs because it's just easier.
Good. So I'm glad I pronounced it right. See, the way I pronounce it is the correct way, Clint. Clint pronounces it the other way. Haha, I finally won an argument with Clint. No, I didn't win anything in. Yeah. Clint usually wins the argument, so that's fine. So good. So we have some people watching right now. That's fantastic, guys. I'm glad you were able to join us on our super secret Sunday SEO Miss episode. If you have any SEO questions for us, by all means, start putting them in the chat. The chat is on the right-hand side if you're watching on YouTube. And if you want, so I can see them, please put 3 asterisks so I can see them. Please, I need them especially now because I'm so overly medicated. And thank you, Clint said that as well. And so I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to get right into it. So Tim was going to do a presentation. Now, Tim, you should know, fair warning, we have had SEMrush on the show a number of times, and they showed us some really cool stuff in SEMrush. And so I don't want to put you on the spot, but I just want to let you know that the competition is pretty fierce here.
That's what you think. That's what you think.
All right, good.
Here at Ahrefs, we have different view at it.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear it. So please show us everything that you can from Ahrefs, and please take it away.
Okay, let me share my screen, and you should see Ahrefs right now. Perfect. Do you?
Yep.
Okay, so I will just walk you through the tools that we have and some features and what I think is important. Like, again, speaking of competition, I will try to showcase some features that differentiate us from competition. Just whenever you have any question, just interrupt me because I'll be happy to go with the conversation that you would put on me. So yeah, the first tool that I want to show is the site audit tool. This is something that we've released last week on Thursday or Friday. I don't really remember. But yeah, basically, we used to have a website crawler a year ago, but we thought that it was lacking. So we decided to wipe it out and build a tool from scratch. So right now we have a site audit tool, which is pretty competitive with any other site crawler that you might name. And basically, I think the biggest beauty, of course, is that it is cloud-based. Because the most popular website crawlers, like, for example, Screaming Frog, they are desktop-based. So if you want to crawl a big website, you need to be good with like proxies, your own servers, and all that stuff. So in our case, everything is cloud-based, and you can tell that Ahrefs has a great crawler, because if we can crawl the whole internet, we can probably crawl your website too. Yeah, and talking about the speed of crawling, I confirmed that with our developers team, and they say that our crawling speed is more than most websites in the world can handle. So again, you shouldn't be worried about us crawling your website slow. But of course, we will not let you crawl any website fast unless you own it. So if you want to get high crawling speed on your website, you will have to verify ownership.
Cool.
So another great feature, for example, let me try that with, I don't know, let's try bachynski.com. Another great feature is that we start, oops.
I think I have a comma at the end there.
Ah, yeah, I'm sorry. So when I click create project, it will start crawling instantly. And we show you the crawl log pretty much the first second that you put. And here we show you the URLs we crawl, the status of these URLs. So the practical application is that if for some reason you're on a bad hosting, I won't name any because I'm not really sure which are good and which are not. But what I've seen is that some hostings are too bad, and when you have traffic on your website and we start crawling it, some pages might time out. And because usually like cloud-based website crawlers will charge you per URL scrolled. So here in the crawl log, you can see if the pages will start timing out, and you will be able to press the stop button, sign up for a better hosting, and then crawl your website. Because otherwise, we will just crawl like a couple thousand pages from your website, charge you for that, and just to tell you that they all are timed out. So yeah, this is a pretty handy feature because you can see the crawl progress right away. But let me stop crawl. Let me stop crawling Brian Dean's website and go back to projects.
You don't want to direct denial service attack Brian's website.
Yeah. So okay, this is Blogger Jet. This is my own blog, which hasn't been updated for a few years, but still. So here we have the project history. I have crawled it twice. Nothing changed because I don't really work on my blog right now. But this is a pretty handy screen because you can see all your progress over time. You can see how many URLs were crawled in each of the crawls, what is the content type, what is the depth difference between the crawls. Of course, we have health score difference between the crawls and total issues difference. So right now I only have 2 crawls, so and both of them are like the same. So the graphs don't look super beautiful. But I assure you that once you do like a few crawls and you start fixing the issues on your website, this will show your progress nicely. So you'll be able to send this. You will be able to make screenshots and send them to your clients, and they would be pretty impressed of how you work on their website. So yeah, from this screen I can go inside each crawl, and here we have a ton of data. So basically, for each URL that we crawl, we save 150 different data items. And out of these 150 data items, you can build issues. And we have like over 100 issues here pre-built for you. Of course, they are, you have importance of different issues. So there are critical warnings, notices. Well, this stuff is pretty standard for most crawlers. And of course, we have different reports where some of the issues are visualized with cool graphs, which is again super handy if you want to send a report to your client. So again, here on the overview of a project, you get the report of the current situation. So what is happening now on your website? While when you go to the project history report, you can see like your progress over time. So we have both the snapshot of the current situation and your progress over time, which we think is super handy. And of course, the heart and soul of the website crawler is the data explorer. So like I said, we save over 150 different data items. If I click this drop down, you will see that there are a lot of things that you can play with. So, and you can build a pretty complex logic, as you can see here, so that you can filter pages using all these 150 different metrics. And Ahrefs metrics are, of course, included there. So you can work with backlinks, you can work with keywords, you can work with organic traffic, and you can build cool filters and filter out pages based on whatever criteria is interesting for you. And then you can also save this as an additional issue. So in different projects, you can have a different set of issues. Everything is like super configurable, super customizable. And this is just the like 1.0 release of Site Audit tool. So we're going to add a lot more features. For example, one of the dope features that we're about to add is the ability to search HTML. Because right now we're saving all the HTML of your pages to our server. So let's talk about the practical application. For example, if you just crawled your website and you want to know if you have like Facebook Pixel installed on all the pages of your website, you don't have to create a rule first and then recrawl your website with that rule that will check all your pages for that Facebook Pixel. You can just search within the data that we have saved on our server. So
and you can do this, of course, for other people's websites as well.
Yeah, of course. But like I said, you can only crawl other people's websites with a pretty low speed, unless you verify them. Well, not low, but like the speed that makes sense for you to not put your competition, to not DDoS your competition or something like this.
Right.
So yeah, this is the quick overview of Site Audit. I won't go into details about specific issues and stuff. I just showed you the top-level view. Let me know if you have any questions. I can also say that we're going to have the support for JavaScript. I think it is coming within a week from now. I'm not sure when your video will be released, but I think within a week or maybe 2 weeks max, we're going to have JavaScript support. So we'll be able to execute JavaScript on your pages and tell you if something is wrong.
Sweet. So there's a lot of data here, a lot of information here. Can you think, I mean, yeah, I know you guys just made this tool, so you might not be able to answer this question, but is there a specific kind of example you can give us of something really cool you could do with it? Because there's a lot of information here. I noticed a couple screens ago, you were showing pages that were too slow, for example. You can kind of use it as a speed test for one.
Well, it is hard for me to even come up like with any example.
Right.
Because
so many options. There's so much you can do with it.
Well, I have one that maybe might be helpful.
Okay.
Like SEMrush, their site audit, I can't mark things as safe, so it'll always report that it's bad. So for example, like tags, I no index all my tags because I build silos with my categories, but all those site audit tools were reported as bad because I have those all set at no index. Is there a way that I can teach your site auditor to ignore the fact that I'm using no index on those?
You have regex rules for when crawling your website. So before you start a new project, you can just specify that you don't want us to crawl pages, specific pages, and we won't crawl them, so they won't be a part of your crawl.
Perfect.
But as for like marking specific pages as like fixed or something like this, it is harder. And like I said, here on the overview page, you have all issues and you have the manage list button. So you can pretty much turn on and turn off different issues, and you also can reconfigure the issues. So basically, if you don't like how we report a specific issue, you can turn it off or reconfigure or configure your own.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm not sure about this specific use case that you've mentioned, so it would be great if you could follow up by email so that I could then try it myself. Not like live, but discuss it with our team and see if we can do it. Because like I said, the tool is pretty new. We only released it like last week, so I didn't have a chance to play with all the configurations myself.
Okay.
Sweet. What else you got for us, Tim?
Okay, so the next tool that I can show you is Rank Tracker. It is another fresh tool, so I'm basically now showing you tools based on their freshness of when they were developed. We also had Rank Tracker before, but we did a major upgrade, and right now I think it is the best Rank Tracker in terms of like visual features. For example, here you can see how your positions are growing over time. So at the bottom you have positions from 1 to 3, then 4 to 10, and blah blah blah. So it's a nice kind of heat map of how your positions are growing over time. But the report that I like the most is SERP features report. So basically, let me turn off the filter that I have here and pick the last quarter. Click apply. So here in this report, I can see how the number of SERP features changes over time for the keywords that I'm tracking. For example, I want to know if anyone is advertising for my keyword. So I just clicked the AdWords top, and you can see that from October until the end of October. So in October, someone was putting out a lot of ads for the keywords that I'm tracking. But right now in December, the number of ads went down. Same here, I can check if there are any knowledge cards for my keywords. And there are like 4 knowledge cards across the keywords that I'm tracking, and it's pretty stable, so it doesn't change. Same with featured snippets. I can go back and see how many featured snippets, and it is, I would say, more or less stable between 23 and 25. And in the blue here, you can see how many featured snippets we own for our keywords. So we used to own 1, then we had 2, then back to 1. So it is pretty cool. You can track, and again, here image pack, we have a bit more image packs. So out of 16 image packs right now, we own 3. Yeah, so this is super visual report. Again, if you're working with clients, you can show them what's happening with the keywords they're tracking, because as you know, the traffic to a website may go down not because you're losing rankings, but because Google is rolling out a lot of different SERP features which are stealing away traffic from your organic listings. So with this report, you can show them what is happening with SERP features across the keywords they're tracking, and then focus on each individual feature and show them like how many features there are and how many features you occupy.
Interesting. That's really, really cool. I like that.
Yeah, so this is pretty dope. And then again, let's go to the basic visibility report. Here we have keywords and all the like standard stuff. So you can add tags to keywords. You can then filter by tag. And actually, for example, let's go to traffic. If I filter by tag, this is our keywords that I'm tracking for Ahrefs.com. So I picked the tag blog. And as you can see, now I see traffic changes for the keywords that are tagged with blog only. So all the reports that we have here, the filters work on them. So when you apply any filter, this will change the visual reports that we have here, which is, again, pretty cool. And then again, let me turn it off. So we have keywords with all the information like position, volume, traffic, blah, blah, blah. We also show SERP features, which is pretty cool. So for example, here, one of the SERP features is in blue, so I can see that for dwell time, we also have an image in the image pack. And you can also, of course, click the drop-down button and see your progress over time. And you can also click the SERP button and see the top ranking results with all their metrics, of course, Ahrefs backlink metrics, which is pretty cool. But then again, you can click the Pages tab, and all the keywords that you're tracking will be grouped by their ranking page. So you can see that for blog/keyword research, I'm tracking 2 keywords, and I can click the drop down, and they are keyword research and best keyword research tool. But then again, here's organic keywords button, which is again super dope. I can click this button, and it will pull all the keywords that Ahrefs knows that this URL is ranking for. So right from here, I can use checkboxes and add these keywords to my rank tracker right here.
Oh, interesting. That's cool.
Yeah,
too.
so this is pretty handy. You can compare the keywords that you're tracking manually for any URL, and you can click this organic keywords button to see what other keywords your URL is ranking for, because you might be interested in tracking them too within the rank tracker.
You may not have known what you were ranking for, period.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You might be surprised. Oh, I was ranking for this. Oh, I want to track this. Wow, cool.
Yeah, so this is our rank tracker, and we also have competitors report. But to be honest, this report is a little bit unfinished. We are about to release an update to this report, so I won't go really deep into it. But still, you have all your competitors that you want to enter, and you can compare the positions, the traffic that they're getting for each keyword, and the SERP features that every one of them is owning for each keyword. So the kind of the table report, the spreadsheet report is already finished, but we have some work to do on the visual side here. For example, SERP features report, I'm not still happy with how it looks like the visual part, so it will be updated within a few weeks, and it will be as dope as the reports on the overview here. For example, this SERP features report. So yeah, we have a lot of functionality. Of course, when we were upgrading our rank tracker tool, we reviewed like the most popular rank trackers, and at least by the time that we were reviewing them, I can tell you that we have a lot of features and reports that you cannot find in any other rank tracking tools.
Ooh.
Yeah, so but again, because like everyone is competing with each other, I'm sure that a lot of guys will learn like what we did and will implement it in their tools. So for example, Moz has a pretty good rank tracking tool. They also show you the SERP features like I'm showing you here, but the difference is they only show you the current snapshot of your SERP features. So you can see how many SERP features there are for your keywords right now and how many of them you occupy right now. Right. While as you can see, we did kind of the same stuff, but we did that over time, which
how
is
long
like
how long do you keep the data for?
As soon as you start tracking your keywords. So this is rank tracker, so you need to enter your keywords for us to start tracking them and collecting data for them.
And you keep that data for the entire time that they're tracking that term, or?
Of course, yeah. I think when you cancel, we give you like some time to rethink your decision, but then we will delete your data. So yeah, as soon as you stay our subscriber, we will of course keep all the data, which is a nice thing to retain customers, of course.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, so this is rank tracker, and if anyone is watching and they can show me a rank tracker that would have, for example, the same SERP features report over time, I will give them like 6 months of Ahrefs for free if they will show me the rank tracker that have the same functionality for SERP features.
Wow, you heard it here. You heard it here first, folks.
It's your challenge.
It's the challenge.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident about that. So yeah, let's talk about
a question on this before you move on.
Okay.
There's is from the audience is your traffic volume numbers. How are they compared to the traffic volume numbers that they can get in the keyword tool in Google, the AdWords keyword tool?
Traffic or search volume?
Traffic volume. Well, it says search volume. Yeah, it says.
Yes. So basically, this is rank tracker. So rank tracker will only report you the traffic from the keywords you're tracking.
Right.
So for example, here I have keyword research. We rank at position number 3. The search volume is 15,000, and we report the traffic of 1.7 thousand. I can tell you 2 things about it. The first thing is that search volume is not super accurate metric. I have recently published a blog post about it on Ahrefs blog.
Mm-hmm.
So people can just search Ahrefs blog search volume, and they will find my article and read like why search volume is not like super accurate metric in itself. And then how we calculate traffic, of course, we take the CTR of the top 10 ranking results and predict that if you're ranking number 3, that you might be getting like 10% of clicks, let's say. So everyone in the SEO world, they know that there's the CTR distribution curve, right? That like the first, the number 1 ranking result will get like 30 or 35% of clicks. The number 2 will get like 20 or 15, number 3 like 10 or less than 10, and then it like fades even faster. Yeah. But in our case, because Ahrefs works with clickstream data, we like buy large quantities of clickstream data and process it every single month. We actually know which % of clicks will go to the first, second, third, and etc. position for each keyword. Like not each, but for each keyword where we have enough data. So in our case, we don't apply the same CTR curve for all keywords. This is why people were asking us, like, okay, my page ranks for 2 keywords. Both of these 2 keywords have the same search volume, let's say 1,000 searches per month. So how do I rank #1 for 2 keywords that get 1,000 searches per month, but one of them is sending me 500 traffic visitors according to Ahrefs, and the other is sending me 300? This is because we actually know like the percentage of clicks on each of the search results. For example, for all the branded terms, we know that we can actually see that for branded terms, the majority of clicks will go to the #1 ranking result, because this is the this is what the branded terms are for, and we report that. While most other tools, they just apply the same CTR distribution curve for all keywords they have. So we are different here.
So that's what I'm putting up on the screen there. I just did a quick search. That, according to Moz anyway, that's what their study recently showed was getting for the clicks for position 1 versus position 10. But you know, it's not that scientific, but
yeah,
but it gives you some idea. We're joined by Keith here. Hey, Keith, did you have a question?
Hey guys, nice surprise. I'm like, what, Sunday night? What's going on? Right? We got SEO Sunday.
It's SEO Miss on a Sunday.
That's right, celebration. Tim, on your rank tracker, what about the snack pack and the maps features for tracking that?
It's pretty hard to do, because like it relies a lot on the actual location, and as far as I know, the majority of rank trackers are not so good with like super specific locations where you care about maps. So if you're really local and you need these like local packs, probably our rank tracker is not the best solution. We think that our rank tracker is the best solution for kind of global sites when you don't care about the physical location that much. So we didn't work on this feature yet, and I can tell you that we don't really have plans to work on it right now, because I've seen that there are like different tools, and for local SEO there are different tools, and there are different offerings. So right now we're not tapping into that space.
Great, so thank you. I'm involved in a lot of groups, and so I see a lot of chatter and talks about the power of the maps and trying to track that. So appreciate it.
Yeah. That's not on our roadmap right now.
Sorry. So Tim, what else do you have to show us in Ahrefs here? I don't want
to. Okay, so
make sure we have enough time.
Since we're talking about the clicks and search volume, the next logical tool would be to explore is Keywords Explorer, of course.
Just got to remember to share your screen again.
Oh, I need to share it again. Okay.
Yeah, we've been looking at that mighty beard you got there.
Okay. Let me share it again. So it should be fine.
Perfect.
Okay, so Keywords Explorer. Let's go with the keyword difficulty keyword, and I will show you what's cool about Keywords Explorer. So first of all, why I said that, why keyword difficulty, keyword research. So first of all, like I said, the search volume of a keyword is not super accurate metric, because here in Ahrefs Keywords Explorer you can actually see trends, like how the search volume was changing over time, and you can see that it fluctuates, which is expected actually. And for example, if you take a keyword like Christmas, you already have an expectation of how the search volume for the keyword Christmas would fluctuate over time. It only has spiked like once per year, but still you need to return a single number, and it should be like, for example, Moz decided to display a range, so from and to, like the search volume during a year can be from and to, but the majority of people in the SEO world didn't like it, because like it's harder to work with the data if the search volume is not a single number but a range. So yeah, this is just one of the reasons why search volume is not super accurate. And the other one is, for example, if we were talking about clicks, here you see on the right side the blue graph. we also show you how many clicks go to paid search results. Because again, we're tracking clickstream data, and we actually see if people who are searching for your keyword start to click on the paid search results. Of course, the data is not super precise because clickstream, they don't include all the people in the world. They only include like a few percent. But what we can do, we can use like different algorithms and like machine learning training to kind of predict what is happening. And usually the predictions are quite accurate. So in this particular case, we can see that 17% of clicks usually go to paid search results for the keyword research. So this is pretty cool because again, let's find my favorite keyword, Donald Trump age.
Uh-oh, here we go. Keith is covering his face.
Yeah, so for Donald Trump age, you can see that people were searching for it a lot, especially during elections. But you can see that the number of clicks, which you can see of this graph, was pretty low. So we even show that with clicks, there were 14% of searches, and without clicks, 86% of searches. And I'm sure that you already know like what's the reason for that, because Google will display Donald Trump's age right in the search results, so you don't have to click anything. And here you can see that with clicks to paid search results, in the vast majority of cases, in most months, there were no ads. So if people were clicking on some search results, these were the organic search results. So yeah, right now, Ahrefs Keyword Explorer is the only tool that gives you this data. So back to our conversation that like when comparing Ahrefs to competition, and like you said that it would be hard for me to impress you. Again, show me the tool that will give you this data, and I will give you like half a year of Ahrefs for free.
Well, he's throwing down the gauntlet, ladies and gentlemen. He's throwing down the gauntlet. I'm gonna have to get SEMrush back on here and both you guys on at the same time. You guys are gonna be adding features as you go. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to keyword research. Keyword. Oh, keywords research. I misspelled it a bit. Another great feature that we have here is this SERP position history. So we take the top 5 ranking results and we show you how they got into the top 5 and how long they stayed there. And I can turn them off so I can see that Backlinko keyword research appeared there not long ago. But this article from Moz, let me turn off the rest. It was ranking #1 pretty consistently all the time. And here there was only a few days when it got dropped, maybe replaced with something else and went back again, or maybe it was even an issue of us rechecking that. But as you can see, this #1 search result was there pretty much the whole time, which means that it would be pretty hard to outrank them compared to the search results where you see a lot of volatility between the top ranking results. So this is again a pretty dope feature because you can kind of predict your chances of getting into top 5 based on how often Google changes the top 5 ranking search results, if that makes sense, of course.
Interesting. Very good.
Yeah, so sometimes, let me try, I don't know, learn SEO. I think I should have prepared more for this conversation with some examples.
Well, it's all fine as long as the tool works live. You know?
Yeah, I just want to show you a search query where the volatility of top search results would be high, which would indicate that Google cannot really identify which are the best search results. So yeah, here it's like more or less not bad. Let's see, what is that URL? Okay, so most beginners guide to SEO, as you can see, it was on and off the top 5. So Google can tell if they want to rank it or not. And then you can also see that the other top ranking results were also competing with each other. So this SERP is not as stable as the previous one, which is pretty cool to research. And if you scroll down, we have a great SERP overview report which I use a lot for one single reason. So as we discussed, the search volume, this is the metric that SEO people often use to estimate how much traffic they are going to get. But every good SEO knows that your page will not rank for a single keyword alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here I see that the keyword learn SEO, it gets like slightly over 2,000 searches per month. And you can see that the ratio of clicks is pretty good. So most people who search for that actually click on the search results, which is good. But still, so if I rank number 1, let's say I will get 30%. So it's like 700 clicks or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
700 clicks is not much, but let's see how much the top ranking result gets traffic in total. They get 1,342. So that's more than the 700 that we just calculated from the CTR curve. And that's because you can see here that this page ranks for 225 more keywords. And these are the keywords where they rank in the top 100 search results, not top 10 or not top 3, top 100. So yeah, and this is just the traffic for US only. So if I click this little drop-down caret, I can see that in total, they get almost 5,000 visitors per month. So this is the information that you might miss if you only look at the US search volume for the keyword learn SEO. It might seem that you won't get a lot of traffic if you rank for it. But if you look at the total search traffic of the top ranking page, the situation is totally different.
Right, of course.
Yeah, so this is pretty cool. And then you can go from here right to the Site Explorer tool in Ahrefs. And you can switch to the organic search tab. And you can actually see the traffic. So from all countries, this page gets 4.6 thousand visitors per month. And then from India, you have 1.6. I think this screen sharing stopped, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me.
It went back to your face. You can make that point very emphatically.
No, it was accidental. Do you see it right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can here you can see to the right how the traffic is distributed by countries. So you can see that the country that is searching for Learn SEO the most is India, and then goes United States, and then Turkey, and you get all the numbers here, which is pretty cool. So yeah, what I'm now suggesting all our customers and all the people who want to learn from Ahrefs blog or Ahrefs YouTube channel is don't look at the search volume alone. Search volume is only the first step to identifying how much traffic you can get in total. Always go and research the top ranking pages and see how much traffic they get in total, because usually the number can be different. We actually did a small study. We wanted to study how the search volume relates to the total traffic. And the correlation is like, it's not very high. So there are keywords that have a huge search traffic, but search volume, but they don't bring a lot of traffic to the top ranking pages. And the other way around, there are keywords that don't seem really popular based on their search volume, but because there's so many ways to ask the same thing to Google, and there's no single one that would be prominent among the rest, the page that ranks gets a ton of traffic in total, just because there's no single search query that would have big search volume, but there are a lot of variations with small search volume, if that makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah,
okay.
So this is why I love the SERP overview, and this is why whenever I'm doing keyword research, I rarely look at the search volume alone. For example, if I enter a bunch of keywords here, SEO, keyword difficulty, let's enter a few keywords. And if I go to metrics, I don't just look at the search volume of a keyword. I will click the SERP drop-down button, and I will explore the top ranking pages. And of course, I'm going to be looking at the relation of the search traffic of a page and the referring domains, because I can see them here in one table. And so I would pick out the pages, for example, this one, 12 best free resources for learning SEO. I can see that they get almost 2,000 visitors in the US alone. And if I click this caret, I can see that they get almost 4,000 in total. And the number of referring domains is 128, which I know for Ahrefs is not that hard to get, given that we already have an audience and we already have the reach. And actually, you see that the article from Ahrefs blog, Learn SEO, is ranking right below it with 51 referring domains, and we get less traffic. But we just published this article like a few months ago, so I'm sure we'll go up for this keyword. So yeah, it is very actionable report, because you can actually see how much traffic the top ranking pages get in total and how many backlinks they have generated to rank in top Google search results. Any questions so far?
Not from me. There's a lot of questions in the chat. That's a lot of information. You know, it's really interesting, these features you brought out recently. And I know this is probably about 10% or 20% of what Ahrefs has.
Yeah.
And we're coming up on the hour, and so I want to make sure these people's questions get answered here. But I just want to also mention that I know that you could keep talking about this for probably for another 2 or 3 hours. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's entirely correct, because a lot of these features were actually invented by myself. So yeah, I think I'm the person in the world who knows, the only person in the world who knows all the features that Ahrefs have. Well, right now with the release of Site Explorer, this is the only tool that I didn't work close with the team. So I might not know all the features there, but for the other tools, I know them like better than anything else.
Fantastic. So thanks very much, Tim, for that. I'm gonna stop you there, so we can answer some questions from the people who are watching.
Okay,
but,
sure.
But to see more Ahrefs features, we'll definitely have to have you on a future hangout, so we can see even more of the awesome Ahrefs features. So
I've gone through a lot of those questions. Really, the only two that are like legit questions is, one is, if I was picking an all-in-one tool, would you recommend Ahrefs as an all-in-one tool right now, or would you say add it to your tool set?
It depends on what you need to do. Because let's be honest, some people can be effective with their SEO and with traffic from Google without any tools at all. So like if you know how to create great stuff, if you know how to put that great stuff in the eyes of the people that can potentially link to that stuff, you don't really need like any tools or like even, I don't know, keyword research, because a lot of things are naturally so awesome that they will generate like attention and search traffic. But this is of course the kind of the extreme case.
The unicorn.
Yeah, the unicorn. So yeah, if you're serious about your SEO, you need a tool like Ahrefs, because you need to know like what people are searching for, what's the search demand for these things, how much search traffic the top pages are getting, like like how do the websites of your competitors look like, how much traffic they're getting, which pages are generating this traffic. So this information is super useful. And what I see is that whenever I show Ahrefs to a person who like does SEO but who is new to the like ecosystem of SEO tools, they get like super impressed about the amount of insights and the amount of information that they can get from a tool like Ahrefs in just like 10 to 15 minutes.
And the next one is on the Keyword Explorers. It'll generate new keyword IDs for you over a period of time. Is that correct? If I understood that correctly.
No, Keywords Explorer, it runs on our own database. Like I said, one of the main sources that we use is Clickstream, and of course we use the same source as everyone else, which is Google AdWords. So we combine these sources and we create a huge database of keywords. And let me go to screen sharing real quick. I will have another challenge. So let's go to Keywords Explorer and let's put the keyword iPhone, and let's see how many keywords, how many search queries with the word iPhone we have in our database. And for that, I need to go to the phrase match report here on the left. And as you can see, there are 4,288,000 keywords with the word iPhone in our database. So again, I challenge you, please find me a tool that will have that many, like over 4 million keyword ideas containing the word iPhone. I'm pretty sure that right now, the keywords database of Ahrefs Keywords Explorer is the biggest in the industry. At least the last time I checked, no one was able to show you the same amount of, and you can actually try any keyword. It's not just I'm picking iPhone because I know this is the single keyword where we outperform anyone else.
Or you
just
stuffed,
try like
you stuffed 3 million extra entries in.
yeah. Yeah.
You
So
mean, of course, aside from Google, you're saying, aside from Google.
Of course.
Yes, because I know one of my listeners, and they go, okay, and they're going to go to AdWords and say, here it is.
No, actually in AdWords, they capped the amount of search suggestions to like 700 or something.
True, that's true. It depends on, I think, how much you're paying.
So yeah, they of course they have all the search queries, but because me and you know that AdWords is the tool for advertisers, not for SEOs.
Yes.
They're kind of reluctant to show you like all these juicy keywords because they would rather prefer to show you like kind of top keywords. And as you know, they combine like keywords, like multiple related keywords into one because advertisers don't care. As soon as they get like relevant traffic to their website, and the traffic will convert.
Hopefully, that's the hope. Did you see any other questions in there, Clint, that you thought we should answer? I'm pondering this. Real Japan HD asked this anthology question that goes on for pages and pages.
Yeah.
And I've been pondering this question. I have to read it out. I've been doing digital marketing interviews recently, and sometimes I get, "What do you think of our company's page SEO-wise?" as a question. And he goes on to ask, if someone wasn't expecting a question like this and didn't Screaming Frog or SEMrush the website in advance before the meeting, what could someone say? I'm guessing this someone is you, Real Japan HD. And then he goes on, should I have just asked, just told them to talk about A/B testing and things that didn't look right, talk about placing CTA buttons? I've been pondering this question for weeks, and so now your help is greatly appreciated. So clearly this is bugging you. If somebody asks you in an interview, what do you think of our company's page SEO-wise, and you haven't looked at it, you're screwed. Like that's the answer. You should have looked at it ahead of time. I mean, what? Create a time machine, work for 50 years, create a time machine, go back in time to the interview and tell yourself, no. I'm not really sure what you're asking there. I was just kind of fascinated by the question. But if I was in that state, and I'd say, well, you know, if I hadn't looked at it, I'd talk about quality or probably some white hat something or something.
I think over time, you look at enough sites, and probably Tim can attest to this as well, is you have this built-in checklist in your head that you know you're going to go after, you know, on-page factors, backlinks, and et cetera, et cetera. You know, Josh's thing, he's looking at indexing, and he's looking at page speed. That's how he handles all those off-the-cuff things. I start off with my big three questions: what is it, what's it about, and what's in it for me? And while I'm analyzing those in the background, I can throw up Ahrefs, or I can throw up SEMrush, or I can throw up a website auditor, depending on how involved I want to get into it, and delve more deep into the SEO stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how to help you there, Real Japan HD. I mean, again, if you haven't looked at the page ahead of time and you're going to an interview, you know, I don't know. That's one of those gotcha questions, one of those stupid like interview gotcha questions. Like, what's your worst feature or something? That's a terrible thing to ask in an interview. Mark H asks, Josh, what is your SEO tool set? I'll tell you what my SEO tool set is. I have a membership for Ahrefs. I have a membership in SEMrush. I have Quora, and I use Google Analytics and Search Console. I use web page test for speed. And that's about it, to tell you the truth. I really don't use Screaming Frog very much. I know, I'm sorry, Screaming Frog, if you're listening, but I really just don't use your tool very much. I don't really need to spider huge websites. I don't know. That's what I'm using. Clint, you have other tools you want to throw in there? You already mentioned one.
Yeah, Ahrefs, SEMrush, I pay for those. Quora, I pay for. Those are pretty much the top three of the big main tools. Then I use Screaming Frog occasionally, and I use SEO Power Suite stuff, particularly the rank tracker. But that's because I can handle the mobile stuff like Tim's talked about. using proxies in their built-in systems like that. It's a little bit easier, but it's a desktop tool. So,
Johan asks, is Ahrefs global? Any language friendly?
I think we have, like in terms of data, yeah, we have support for most countries and languages. I think we have issues with Asian countries like China. We have a small database there. But in terms of data, yeah, we support like almost all countries around the world. But in terms of translation of the interface, I think we support like slightly over a dozen like most popular languages.
Mark did ask earlier, of course, the basic questions like how much does Ahrefs cost, and how many keywords can you track? Those kinds of questions. How many sites can you track?
Just go to ahrefs.com pricing page, and everything is there. We're not the kind of company that would hide all this information behind the demo button and like torture you with calls and stuff. So you can you can see everything there on the pricing page.
All right, fantastic. And let's see if there's any final questions here before we take off for the night.
I got one more form while you're looking. What do you suggest for like the average user, like a small agency, for example, 5, 10 sites, maybe 5, 10 clients? Which package do you think is the best for them to get going? Because me, I'm on the old legacy standard pricing, so I only pay $79 a month. So haha for all you people that have to pay. But you know what? Like an average user is one. You know, is the agency one a little bit overkill, or you know, which one do you recommend?
Yeah, of course, the agency would be a bit overkill for like most people, because this is the kind of our most expensive account. So the people who pay for this account are people who make like a ton of money doing SEO, and they can afford that and justify that. But usually, let's simplify my answer to saying just sign up for the like lowest account. And see if you need more. So just go play with it, work with it. Some features will be available, some features will not be available. Once you hit the wall, once you actually see that you need more, upgrade. And then like wait till you need even more. So this is the best strategy, I think.
Okay.
Fantastic. There's a couple last little questions here. Christopher asks, Clint and I, actually, he asks, for our site audits, how do we build the customer report? I'll answer for myself first. I don't build one, I write one. I don't, for my audits, I'm doing 5-hour kind of custom audits that has my eyeballs looking at websites and pages and things like that. I use a couple programs here or there to collate some data for me, but basically I write it myself, and then I have a phone call with the client. So it's a bit of a more robust process. And by the way, now that I'm thinking of it, it's still SEO miss. I'm still offering that 30% discount for all the audits I'm doing in up until around New Year's Eve. So if you want a comprehensive SEO audit that guarantees your ranking will be better within 3 to 9 months, you better email me before I get too full up, and then I will say no. So email me if you want an audit. Clint, how do you construct your site audits?
The video audits, I have a specific template that I go through. It takes me about 15-20 minutes. The in-depth actual real site audits is I get a template. It's about 280 pages that I go through, and a spreadsheet to follow along. So it depends on what the purpose of your audit is.
Right. And I think that's pretty, you notice that we're giving some pretty big data away. We're providing pretty big reports afterwards. I think that's pretty standard for SEOs at the top level. I know that Eric Ward's report, late great Eric Ward's report, was quite large as well, and so was Eric Enges, I know. Keith, I noticed you unmuted yourself, my friend. Did you have a question for us to take us out of here?
One thing that comes up a lot too is PPC in using Ahrefs. Trying to find the right keywords, what people click on, buy, where that's coming from. A lot of folks struggle with that. I just wanted to get Tim's input.
Yeah, we do have reports for PPC. So once you put the website of your competitors into Ahrefs Site Explorer tool, we show you how many keywords we know they're advertising. and like what are their ads and which landing pages they send traffic to. To be honest, I haven't tried the like PPC features, for example, of SEMrush or SpyFu or like whatever other tools there are. So I cannot really compare and tell you like if we have better features than they do they have worse features. So yeah, but I just know that we do track paid keywords. We show you all the paid keywords that we know about. We show you the landing pages and we show you the ad copy. So pretty standard stuff. If anyone, like especially if anyone is a customer of Ahrefs and they are lacking some functionality in the PPC section of our reports, please email me at timsolo@ahrefs.com. I'm quite responsive to any like customer inquiries, and I'll be happy to review them and put them on our roadmap.
Fantastic, Tim. Thanks very much. Just a couple little questions left here. Here's a good question for you. So, do you track the map pack? And you showed us the one screen with the SERP features. Do you track map pack, and can you track? I know you guys were talking about this, but you know I'm hallucinating and seeing fairies, so I don't know if you actually answered the question. Do you track local rankings in an area, and do you track map pack as well?
Yeah, I already answered this question.
Yep,
so,
you already addressed it.
Okay, good. Well, then I was talking with the leprechauns. Fantastic. So, yeah, yes, Mr. Leprechaun, he does track it. All right. And then last question on a totally different topic. Eureka Sapyonya wants to know where your accent is from there, Tim.
This is Ukrainian accent.
And
today's morning, I'm super proud of my Ukrainian accent because yesterday our boxing prodigy, Vasyl Lomachenko, made another great performance in the Madison Square Garden in New York. Yeah, and I'm super proud to be Ukrainian today.
Oh, fantastic. Obviously, I'm part Ukrainian as well, Canadian, of course, but I understand. I feel you, brother. So I better close it off there before I start talking with more leprechauns and fairies. This has been White Hat versus Black Hat SEO show. I want to thank Tim Solo very much for presenting just a tiny little bit of the new features in Ahrefs. We'll have to have you on the show again, probably on another Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, to look at the rest of the features in Ahrefs. Keith, thanks for joining. Do you have any final words, Keith?
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
As always, it's our pleasure to have you here. And Clint, take us home, brother. Well, what final words do you have?
Oh, get Ahrefs. Try it out. 30 days. Just test it. See if it's going to fit your needs. Obviously, everyone works differently. So some people like Majestic. I don't know why, but you know, Ahrefs is better.
Well, there you have it. Clint said it here first. So again, this has been White Hat versus Black Hat SEO show. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And I don't know if we're going to be doing another show before the holidays here. So keep watching my Twitter feed in case you want to see if there's another show. I'll just give that information out now. You can follow me at Twitter at Josh Bachynski. If you want an SEO audit or have any SEO questions, email me at joshbachynski@gmail.com. And keep watching. Sorry?
So you got your sale going on.
Got my sale going on, 30%. And you know, I promise I will not be talking with leprechauns and fairies when I do your audit. I'll try to make sure my back is not acting up that day. And so so seeing that we probably won't have another show before the holidays, I want to wish everyone happy holidays, and we'll see you in the new year. And but still email me if you have any questions. So thanks a lot, guys, and everyone wave goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Good show. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.